Hey fam, just here at this lake I found, manifesting abundance. Alright, we're going to get this at NRS Pike out this morning, the 126. Be the first time in it, so I couldn't stand it. I said, we got to go give it a try. Gonna fish it, gonna hopefully stink it up a little bit, and quick trip, but we'll give you a quick run through as soon as we get done. Alright, y'all stay tuned.
Alright, well, first test whether or not you can turn sideways with it in the water. Did pretty good. Super stable. First fish in a little old boat. I don't want the first blood in it to be mine. I tell you what, it's effortless to paddle. If you have a person that has, you know, limited paddling ability or strength, man, get you an inflatable. It's eye-opening how easy they are to paddle. It's got a little waggle because I got that shorter Skag on there, but I don't think I'd give up that for that longer Skag for tracking, just because it doesn't take much to correct and it paddles well, you know. Ah. That one's a true white bass because that center line goes out on his tail. Look at that. Stinking thing. Stunk up my bride's new boat. Little bit of a turn on that glide, and that's because I shortened that Skag. But watch this. Straightens out, no problem. I think I'd rather have that shorter Skag, honestly, than be hitting on the rocks everywhere I wanted to go. Definitely not as initially stable as the CUDA. I mean, definitely not. But I mean, and that's because your feet are only, you know, I think the cockpit width is only like 17 inches, so your feet are real close by, and I do not like standing with my feet close with all this up here. But I mean, it's stable. I mean, I would fish, I would paddle like this and look, you know. So just trying to figure out, hey, yeah, is it doable? It's definitely doable and not uncomfortable. I mean, I've stood in way worse boats, and once it comes in, I mean, it locks on that secondary, and I could probably pump the floor up another pound or two, and it wouldn't feel quite as squishy. But I mean, I'm impressed with it. I did add my little strap up to the front to help sit down and stand up. So. That was kind of like a cakewalk, honestly. I think the Pike is a little bit more susceptible to wind than the CUDA, just primarily because this is like a 10.5 inch side versus like a 9 inch side on the CUDA, and it comes up and around, so the wind can hit and go both ways right there on the side of the pontoon. I mean, it ain't awful, but you're going to definitely be more subject to wind issues in an inflatable than you are in a hard side boat, and the Pike is just slightly more affected by the wind than the CUDA would be. All right, I brought it back out here into open water where the breeze was at, so you can kind of see you know, what it does. And as I paddled and stopped, of course the tail end swung, and that's because of the shorter Skag. But now it's sort of, it's hanging sideways, which is normally what a hard side kayak does if you've got it tuned correctly. And that's fine, because if the wind's blowing that way, at least I could parallel the bank, you know, so I can flop either side, whatever I want to. But that's exactly what happens. It turned, locked in. I'm not blowing incredibly fast. I mean, I'm definitely not matching wind speed. Kind of dumb thing to say, but anyway, you can see what I'm saying just by looking at the bubbles and the foam on the water. I'm not blowing incredibly fast for a pretty stiff breeze. It's just sort of holding there. So it does better than I expected it to in the breeze. All right. I was hoping to find some waves or some current, and that's the first boat that's passed by me throwing a wake big enough to go hit. So I just want to see what it felt like. Hitting waves in an inflatable is totally different than hitting them in hard side. It kind of feels like jumping on a stiff water bed, but I don't know how well y'all can pick up that little bit of hull slap. The hull slap was definitely worse on the Cuda just because it's so flat. I still think it's kind of muted. I think it's less on both of them than it is on a hard side boat, but that's just from my bad ears. All right, y'all. Well, I got to go get some Vacation Bible School decorations started, so I got to get off the river pretty quick, but I just wanted to get out here and give this thing a try. Had it for a while. Angie's been sick, so I hadn't had a chance to get her out in it. I finally said, you know what, I'm sorry, but I'm going to go slime your boat without you. So left her in the bed this morning. Hopefully she's going to feel good enough to get out and at least give y'all an idea of what she thinks about it. So, but I just figured I'd use it for a fishing vessel because, you know, for her it's going to be more about paddling than about fishing. So I was real impressed with the way it's set up. We'll do a comparison kind of side by side with the Cuda, so you can kind of see what they're like and what we like about each one of them. But right now, I mean, just if you got any questions on this one, holler at me. I hope I answered some on the water before that wind come up, but give me an idea of how it's going to act in the breeze, you know, how it's going to act in a little bit of current, which I didn't get much, but I'm hoping to get into some more serious current just to see. But anyway, this is the NRS Pike 126. It's got the short Skag on it. In flat water, I would probably go back and put the big Skag on there. For Angie paddling, I'm going to put the big Skag on there. For me, I like that maneuverability of the short Skag, so I think I'm going to leave it that way. But like I said, my boat's the Cuda. This is her boat, so we'll let her make that determination. I hope this helps. Y'all take care.